So I did my author study on Gail Gibbons. I really enjoy her as a children's book writer. I think she does the nonfiction genre really like no other. I think she's very unique. And so I wanted to do my study on her and share it with you. So a little bit of background about the author. Gail was born in 1944 in Oak Park, Illinois. She is quoted as stating that even as a little child, I was always putting books together. Sometimes I would bind them together with yarn to hold the pages together. She described herself as a very curious child who asked a lot of questions. She studied graphic design at the University of Illinois. Later, she moved to New York where she did artwork for television shows. And she was actually asked to do the artwork for a children's television show. And that's when she was kind of asked by the children to start getting into children's books and do more for children. And then that's where she really found her passion. Here's my display. Her first book ever published was in 1975. It is Willie and His Wheel Wagon. There's a picture for you. One of her other books is Nature's Green Umbrella, Tropical Rainforest. For this book, she was able to travel to the islands of Saba and Dominica to do her research for this book. I learned that the reason Gail was so drawn to nonfiction informational texts is because she loves to do research. So I thought that was interesting. Often we hear about authors that just love to write or they love to read books, so they became writers. So I thought it was interesting that she loves to research. She's almost like a scientist, and she takes her work and really makes it in a unique way that she presents, which I think will really correlate really well with younger children. Since her first book, Gail has written and illustrated over 170 books that have been published. Here's an image of these are all Gail Gibbons books. What I truly love about Gail Gibbons is she took a genre of nonfiction informational text and she really made it unique to herself. You know, if you take a look at these books, you can tell they're Gail Gibbons books. If you were given a lineup of children's nonfiction books, you could spot out the Gail Gibbons ones. And I think that's really admirable that over 170 books written and published, you know, she's doing something that is working. And I think it will resonate really well with younger children. And so I definitely can't wait to use it in my classroom. A couple books I have from the library. One of them is Valentine's Day, and you can take a look at it. You know, what I love about her book is it is informational text, but it doesn't have those typical things you would look for, like a glossary or a table of contents or headings or subheadings. She really makes it unique. And I love that she always does her own drawings as well. And it just keeps going on, and it gives you different facts about Valentine's Day and where it began and all of the little things that go along with it. It's perfect because you can use a Gail Gibbons book for any time of the year. There's always something you can choose from that'll fit that specific point of time. Another one is The Vegetables We Eat. So I wore my kale shirt for it. Thought that would be appropriate. Again, there's no table of contents, there's no glossary. It's a very informal way of doing informational text, which I think is great because as you're introducing children to it, whether it's kindergarten, first grade, second grade, I think it's a great way to do it without turning them off of the subject. You know, you're almost disguising it without completely boring them to death. It's, you know, a fun way to introduce them, and you give them a lot of knowledge, but they just have so many great pictures to go along with it. One of my favorite Gail Gibbons books that I picked up is Halloween Is by Gail Gibbons. Halloween is probably my favorite holiday. I love it. I love everything about it. So I wanted to share this. And just a little idea of how she does it, I'll go to a few pages. So she does her little, I wouldn't even call it a heading, but Halloween is a fall celebration. And then she goes on with the little facts at the bottom. So Halloween started from many ancient beliefs and customs. It is celebrated on October 31st. And then you can just kind of go, and she gives more facts about Halloween, some more background knowledge. I love her pictures to go along with it. For this page, Halloween is bats. Throughout history, people feared bats. Bats flew about in the night sky guided, it seemed, by a mysterious power. What people didn't understand, they feared. So it's nice because she describes different elements about the holiday and why they fit with that specific holiday. And I just think it's fun, you know. You can always read kids a Halloween story, but here you get to read them a story while also giving them concrete, solid background information about the subject, but you get to do it in a fun way that they really enjoy. So that's the one that I really wanted to share with you. It's probably my favorite, and I can't wait to use this with my students in the future because I think it's a great way at introducing them to nonfiction and informational text that they're probably going to get deeper into the higher up they get, but you get to do it in a fun way that won't scare them away. So I made a brochure for everyone. Didn't get enough Gibbons, and here's a little picture of her. You can take a look inside for more information on how to do more research into the research that I found, and also information on where you can find the books that I showed you. So here, the James Gibson Library on Lake Mead Parkway is where I got my 3 Gibbons books that I shared with you today. The address is on here, the phone number, the hours of operation. Over here is gailgibbons.com, and that is the primary website that I use to gather some of my background information on Gibbons. And if you take a little look, that's the logo on the website. It has great information about Gibbons as well as about the various books that she offers. And I just think they're great books to use in the classroom for students. So here are some other ones. What I love about Gibbons as well is she does all subjects. She's not just talking about animals. She's not just talking about holidays. She's not just talking about vegetables. She's doing it all. So it's great to introduce students to a variety of topics. And she really did it in a unique way that is her own, and I think that if you're looking at a set of nonfiction or informational texts, you can always pick out the Gail Gibbons ones. And I think that that means she's done something great, and I can't wait to use her books in my future classroom. Hope you enjoy.